What if I told you that everything you think you know about women, about their bodies, about their minds, is only the tip of the iceberg? What if beneath the surface lies a world of complexity, power, and strength that you've never truly understood? What if, by unlocking these hidden truths, you could transform the way you see the world and the relationships you build within it? Most men look at a woman's body and see what's obvious: curves, beauty, softness. But what if I told you that's only what's visible to the eye, while her true power, her deepest strength, is something far more profound, something that cannot be seen, only felt? Her body tells a story. Not just about beauty, but about survival. Not just about what's external, but about the inner world that guides her every thought, emotion, and decision. And most men, despite all the attention they give, miss it. You miss it. But what if, by understanding this, you could see her differently? Not just as a partner or a figure, but as a force, strong, resilient, intuitive, operating on a level most of us don't even know exists. The reward? A deeper connection, better relationships, more respect, and a true understanding of what makes her tick. And when you finally get it, everything changes. You see, the way we perceive the world is shaped by what we know, and in most cases, what we think we know about women is limited by outdated beliefs and shallow perceptions. Men often look at women's bodies and make quick judgments about attraction, about strength, about who she is and what she wants. But there's so much more beneath the surface that most never take the time to explore. There's a power in understanding the psychology behind a woman's body, a power that goes beyond attraction or physical appearance, and yet it's often overlooked, dismissed, or misunderstood. The truth is, a woman's body has a language of its own, a deep and complex language that, when deciphered, unlocks a new level of respect, admiration, and understanding. It's more than just her curves, her hips, her smile. It's the way her mind works with her body, how they sync in ways most men couldn't imagine. So why should you care? Because understanding this isn't just about impressing her or winning her over, it's about connection. Deep, real, and authentic connection. It's about knowing what drives her, what empowers her, and how you can show up in her life as someone who truly gets it, someone who sees her for who she really is, not just who society tells you she should be. And this understanding, it's the key to breaking down barriers, to creating trust, to building something more than just a relationship. It's the foundation of partnership, of respect, and ultimately of love. We all know the saying, you don't know what you've got until it's gone. But what if you could realize what you've been missing before it's too late? What if, instead of letting misunderstandings and miscommunications define your relationships, you chose to learn, to open your eyes to a truth that could change everything? When you take the time to understand her, her body, her mind, her emotions, you unlock something extraordinary. You begin to see the nuances in her every move, the messages her body is sending that words could never convey. And when you understand this, you're not just engaging with her on a surface level anymore. You're connecting with her on a profound level. You're meeting her as an equal, as someone who respects the fullness of her being. This is where the magic happens. This is where true connection begins. So as you read on, know this: the facts I'm about to share won't just shock you. They'll change how you see women, how you interact with them, and how you understand their bodies. These aren't just facts in the sense of scientific discovery. They are keys to a deeper understanding that most men don't have. And once you hold them, the door to a more meaningful relationship with the women in your life will open wide. This is not just about understanding what women are made of, but about understanding what they can do, how they think, how they feel. It's a new lens through which to see the world, a lens that could completely transform the way you live, connect, and love. So take a deep breath and dive in. You've just unlocked the first step to seeing the world from a whole new perspective. What most men fail to realize is that the power of a woman's body doesn't just lie in its physical appearance or its ability to bear life. It's embedded in something far deeper, something more profound. It's in the way her body responds to the world around her, how it's wired to adapt, to feel, to protect, and to nurture in ways you may never fully understand. It's in the silent strength of her mind, which is constantly working in tandem with her body, guiding her decisions, her actions, and her very essence. You may think you understand a woman's body, but the truth is you've only scratched the surface. Women's bodies are designed for more than just reproduction or attraction. They are intricately linked to their emotional intelligence, to their intuition, to their very survival. Her strength isn't just physical, it's psychological, it's emotional, and most importantly, it's resilient. Think about this for a moment. When a woman faces adversity, when life throws challenges her way, there's a hidden power in her that is activated, not just a reaction, but a deep, almost instinctual response that helps her navigate even the toughest situations. This power, though, doesn't just come from some abstract notion of willpower. It comes from a place much deeper, her biological wiring. From the moment a woman enters the world, her body begins developing a unique strength, one that is tied to emotional regulation and resilience. This is why women often seem more emotionally aware, more capable of handling pressure, more in tune with their own feelings and with the feelings of others. But it's not magic, it's biology, it's science. Her body is engineered to survive, to adapt, to feel more deeply. This, my friend, is not just about strength. It's about an extraordinary ability to bounce back, to keep moving forward no matter the obstacles in her path. Take a moment to think about the hormonal cycles women go through, the way their bodies and minds fluctuate over time, often in ways that seem mysterious to men. The truth is, women's bodies are in a constant state of change. And these fluctuations, they're not just physical, they're psychological too. A woman's emotions, thoughts, and behaviors often shift in rhythm with her biology, making her incredibly resilient but also deeply sensitive to the world around her. Her body is a finely tuned machine, always adjusting, always learning, always evolving. But here's the catch: most men don't understand this. And that misunderstanding is one of the most profound barriers to true connection. Men often view women's emotional responses as irrational or over-dramatic, not realizing that these reactions are simply a byproduct of the complexity embedded in her biology. What men fail to grasp is that women's emotional depth is not a flaw, it's a gift. It's what allows them to connect with the world on a level that most men can't even begin to comprehend. Imagine for a second that you could truly tap into this understanding. Imagine what it would be like if you could empathize with her. Not just as a partner, but as a person with a body that responds to the world in ways you've never noticed before. What would happen if you could see her emotional reactions, not as unpredictable, but as deeply tied to her biology? What if you could meet her where she is, emotionally, physically, and mentally, instead of judging her reactions based on your own experiences and perceptions? This is where the transformation happens. This is where everything changes, not just how you see her, but how you connect with her. When you understand the connection between her emotions and her body, you unlock the secret to truly supporting her, to helping her navigate the storm inside her, without judgment, without misunderstanding. But this is about more than just understanding her. It's about understanding the incredible power that resides in this connection. A woman's emotional depth, her resilience, and her intuition all feed into her ability to make decisions that are often more intuitive than logical. When faced with choices, her mind doesn't just weigh the facts. Her emotions, her body's reactions, and her past experiences all come into play. And while this might seem illogical to you, it's anything but. It's an advanced form of decision-making, rooted in the body's intricate connection to its surroundings, to its emotions, and to its desires. Imagine the trust that would form between you and her if you could see her through this lens. Imagine the level of respect and admiration you would command, not just from her, but from yourself as well, because when you understand her in this way, you stop seeing her as a puzzle to be solved or a mystery to be decoded. You begin to see her as a partner, someone whose body and mind work in perfect harmony to navigate the world. And when you start to understand her on this deep biological level, something else happens. You start understanding yourself better too. You begin to realize how much your own biology, your own instincts, influence the way you perceive the world, make decisions, and connect with others. This mutual understanding of body and mind, hers and yours, becomes the foundation of something much greater than a relationship. It becomes the foundation of true partnership. But this understanding doesn't happen by chance. It happens when you actively choose to learn, to pay attention, to question everything you thought you knew. When you make the decision to dive deeper, to see beyond the surface, you unlock a world of possibilities, not just for how you interact with her, but for how you view the world as a whole. It's time to stop settling for surface-level understanding. It's time to go deeper, to explore the true nature of connection, and to embrace the power of seeing her, the woman you care about. Not just as a body, but as a force of nature, as someone whose strength, intelligence, and emotional depth are as complex and beautiful as the world itself. When you do this, you unlock a bond unlike anything you've ever experienced before, a bond built on understanding, trust, and mutual respect. And when that happens, everything else falls into place. The truth is, we often underestimate the quiet strength that a woman carries within her. We see her as gentle, as nurturing, as soft, and all of those things are true. But what if I told you that this softness is a mask for something much stronger, something that's ingrained deep within her DNA? Beneath that gentle exterior lies an unshakable force, one that has been shaped by centuries of evolution, biology, and instinct. A force that, when understood, becomes the key to unlocking her full potential and your own. Imagine for a moment what it would be like if you could truly see that strength. What if you could see the quiet fire that burns within her, the way her body is constantly adapting, evolving, and responding to the world around her? Her body is a battleground of emotions, hormones, and instincts, all working in unison to make her who she is. And most men miss it. They see her as a mystery, something to be figured out. But understanding her strength goes far beyond figuring out why she reacts the way she does. It's about embracing her complexity, seeing her as more than just a partner or a lover, but as a force in her own right, a force that deserves your respect, admiration, and unwavering support. You see, women have an incredible ability to endure. Their bodies are designed not just to survive, but to thrive. And this endurance isn't just physical, it's emotional, mental, and spiritual. Every woman at some point in her life will face challenges that test her resilience. Whether it's the demands of work, the pressures of motherhood, or the weight of societal expectations, her ability to keep going in the face of adversity is unparalleled. Strength isn't a result of sheer willpower alone. It's rooted in her biology. It's the way her body has evolved to handle stress, to navigate the ups and downs of life, and to carry the weight of the world without breaking. When you understand this, you start to see her differently. You begin to see the quiet moments of strength, the way she holds it together when things are falling apart, the way she keeps moving forward even when the world feels heavy. It's not just about the big moments of triumph, it's about the small, everyday acts of resilience that go unnoticed. These are the moments that define her, the moments that reveal the true depth of her power. And here's the thing, when you understand this, you stop seeing her as fragile or overly emotional. You stop seeing her through the lens of weakness or fragility. Instead, you begin to recognize the quiet, unwavering strength that she carries with her every single day. This is a strength that doesn't need to be loud or obvious. It's the kind of strength that is built over time, the kind of strength that emerges from within, the kind of strength that can weather any storm. Now, think about the power of empathy, the ability to connect with someone not just through words, but through understanding. When you begin to understand the depths of a woman's resilience, her emotional intelligence, and her unique strength, you open up the possibility of a connection that goes beyond the surface. It's not just about making her feel loved, it's about making her feel seen, heard, and understood in a way that most men never bother to do. Imagine the bond that would form if you could meet her in her moments of strength, if you could acknowledge her resilience without belittling it. What if, instead of dismissing her emotions or her reactions, you honored them? What if you could look past the things she's afraid to say and see the quiet strength that speaks volumes? That's where real connection happens. That's where the magic of a relationship lies. Not in the grand gestures, but in the everyday moments of recognition, understanding, and support. But understanding her strength is just the beginning. When you begin to see the depth of her resilience, you also start to see the incredible emotional intelligence that comes with it. Women are wired to be more attuned to their emotions and the emotions of others. This heightened emotional awareness is not just a random trait, it's a survival mechanism, a way for women to navigate the complexities of life, relationships, and society. And when you can understand the depth of her emotional intelligence, you tap into something far more powerful than you ever imagined. Her emotional depth is not a weakness, it's a superpower. It allows her to feel the world on a deeper level, to empathize with others, to care more deeply. And when you recognize this, you begin to realize that her emotions aren't something to be feared or avoided. They're something to be embraced. Her emotional responses are a reflection of her inner strength, her ability to process and move through the world in ways that most men will never fully understand. But that's okay. Understanding her is not about having all the answers. It's about accepting the mystery and embracing the complexity. When you can see her in this light, you stop trying to change her, fix her, or mold her into something she's not. Instead, you start to see the beauty in her complexity. You start to admire the way her body and mind work together, how they carry her through life with such grace, power, and resilience. You begin to recognize the strength it takes to be her, to balance the many roles she plays, to manage the emotional highs and lows, to keep going when life gets hard. And in that moment, you realize that the most powerful thing you can do is not to solve her problems, but to stand beside her, to honor her strength, and to offer your support in a way that allows her to thrive. This isn't about being her hero. It's about being her partner, someone who sees her for who she truly is and values her for the power and strength that she brings into the world. This is the level of understanding that transforms relationships. This is the kind of connection that isn't built on superficial attraction or fleeting moments of affection. It's built on mutual respect, on shared understanding, and on the deep recognition of each other's strengths and weaknesses. When you begin to see her for who she truly is, not just as a partner or a lover, but as a force in her own right, everything changes, and that's when the real work begins. At the heart of every woman's strength is something that many men fail to recognize: her incredible capacity for adaptation. This is not just the ability to cope with change, but the innate drive to thrive in it. Women have been, for centuries, the architects of survival in a world that often demands they bend, break, or rebuild. They've learned how to flow, how to adjust, how to shift with the tides of life, no matter how fierce they may be. The truth is, a woman's adaptability is her superpower. She is the master of balance, the quiet force that holds everything together, even when the world around her is crumbling. Whether it's juggling the demands of career, family, and personal growth, or navigating emotional complexities and societal pressures, she carries it all with a grace that often goes unnoticed. But this adaptability isn't about being passive. It's about a fierce resilience that constantly adjusts and pivots in response to the challenges that life throws her way. When you begin to understand this, you stop seeing her as someone who is just getting by. Instead, you begin to see her as someone who is actively creating her path, no matter how challenging that path may be. This adaptability doesn't just show up in the big moments. It's embedded in the small, everyday decisions she makes. It's in the way she changes her approach to a problem, the way she learns from her mistakes, the way she continues to move forward despite everything that tries to hold her back. It's this constant evolution, this ability to adapt, that makes her powerful in ways that most men never fully grasp. And it's not just her ability to adapt to external circumstances that makes her strong. It's the way she adapts to her own emotions, her own feelings, her own needs. Women are constantly in tune with themselves, with their bodies, with the ebb and flow of their emotions. They have a unique ability to process and reflect, to take in the world and respond to it in ways that are often far more complex than men realize. What most men see as overreaction or emotional instability is actually a deep internal process of adaptation, a way of recalibrating, of shifting gears in response to emotional shifts. When a woman is feeling something deeply, it's not a sign of weakness, it's a reflection of how her body and mind are constantly adjusting, constantly evolving to meet her internal and external needs. Understanding this adaptability is crucial because it shifts the way you approach your relationship with her. When you understand that she is constantly evolving, constantly adjusting, you start to see the relationship differently. Instead of trying to fix her or offer quick solutions to her problems, you begin to understand that she doesn't need fixing. She needs support. She needs space to evolve. And most importantly, she needs someone who respects the complexity of that evolution. The beauty of a woman's adaptability is that it doesn't just benefit her, it benefits everyone around her. As she shifts, as she grows, as she faces the challenges that life throws her way, she brings those around her along for the ride. This is why women are often the glue that holds families, communities, and even workplaces together. Their ability to adapt to changing circumstances allows them to create environments where others can thrive. They're the ones who know how to make people feel heard, seen, and valued, even in the most challenging of times. They may not always seek the spotlight, but their strength is undeniable. They are the quiet architects of connection, of growth, and of change. Now, imagine the kind of partnership you could have if you truly understood this. Imagine the depth of trust that would form if you could see her adaptability not as a challenge, but as a gift. What if, instead of viewing her need for change as something inconvenient, you saw it as an opportunity for growth, both for her and for you? What if you could embrace her evolution, support her journey, and be her partner in every step of the way? When you stop seeing her adaptability as a source of tension or frustration, and start seeing it as the powerful force that it truly is, everything changes. Instead of feeling threatened by her growth, you'll feel empowered by it. You'll understand that as she evolves, so too does the relationship, so too does your connection. This is not a competition. This is not about keeping up. This is about evolving together, about growing in tandem, and supporting each other through the highs and lows that life brings. But to truly embrace this adaptability, you have to let go of the idea that you need to control her. You cannot box her in, cannot stifle her growth, cannot expect her to remain static in a world that is constantly shifting. The most powerful relationships are the ones where both partners understand the fluidity of life and embrace it together. A woman's adaptability isn't something to fear, it's something to celebrate. It's what allows her to keep moving forward, to keep becoming the best version of herself. And when you support her in that journey, you become part of her evolution. Think about the kind of man you want to be in this equation. Do you want to be the one who holds her back, who tries to control her, or do you want to be the one who empowers her, who celebrates her growth, who stands beside her as she becomes the best version of herself? The choice is yours. The most profound connections in life come from understanding the people we care about, not just on the surface, but on a deep biological, psychological, and emotional level. When you truly understand a woman's body, her mind, and her incredible capacity for adaptation, you unlock a level of connection that most men will never experience. This isn't just about learning facts or reading books. This is about seeing her as a partner, as a force in her own right, as someone whose strength is as deep and multifaceted as the ocean itself. And when you understand this, you begin to see the world differently. You begin to recognize that strength isn't always loud. It isn't always in the form of grand gestures. Sometimes the greatest strength is quiet. It's in the way a woman navigates the world, the way she adapts, the way she continues to rise, no matter how many times life knocks her down. When you see her this way, everything changes. And that, my friend, is when you truly begin to understand the power of a woman's body. The more you understand a woman's body, the way it moves, how it reacts to the world, the more you begin to realize just how much power she carries within her. But there's something even deeper than strength and adaptability that lies within her, something that shapes everything she does, every choice she makes, and every interaction she has. It's the way her mind and body are intricately connected, working in sync to create a level of intelligence and intuition that is unlike anything else. What you may not realize is that a woman's body is constantly sending her messages that guide her in ways you may never fully understand. These messages are not just physical sensations or emotional triggers. They are a symphony of signals that tell her when to act, when to pause, when to push, and when to rest. These signals shape her decisions and her life. They give her an edge that goes far beyond anything that can be measured or quantified. At the core of this is her emotional intelligence, an intelligence that, while often undervalued or dismissed, is perhaps the most powerful tool a woman possesses. This intelligence allows her to perceive the world in ways that most men can't begin to comprehend. It's why women can sense tension in a room before anyone else notices, why they can feel when something is wrong, even when no one says a word. It's why they know how to support someone without being asked, how to connect with others on a level that feels both intuitive and deep. This emotional intelligence is what makes them exceptional partners, mothers, and leaders. It's the hidden force behind every relationship, every conversation, and every act of care. The fascinating part is that this isn't just a soft emotional trait. It's biological. Women's brains are wired to be more attuned to emotions, to read people, to pick up on nuances that many men miss. And it's not just a product of experience, it's ingrained in them at a neurological level. Her brain processes emotions differently, allowing her to navigate the world with a heightened sensitivity. When a woman walks into a room, she's not just seeing the people around her, she's reading the emotions, the energies, the unspoken cues that others overlook. This is a gift, but it's also a responsibility. It means that she's always working harder than most people realize, constantly navigating an ocean of feelings and signals, using that information to guide her actions, her words, and her decisions. This deep, emotional intelligence is what allows a woman to form connections that feel almost effortless, but they are far from it. Every bond she forms, whether it's with a partner, a child, or a friend, is built on a foundation of emotional awareness. She isn't just connecting on a surface level, she's deeply understanding the needs, wants, and emotions of those around her. And when you recognize this, when you start to appreciate the depth of her emotional intelligence, you begin to see the world through her eyes, and everything shifts. This is why women often excel in relationships, both personal and professional. They have an innate ability to empathize, to listen, to offer support in ways that feel truly genuine. They understand that relationships are not just about what's spoken, but about what's unspoken. The little things, the nuances, the details that make all the difference. Women can read between the lines. They can hear what's not being said, and they can offer what's needed, even when it's not asked for. But this emotional intelligence isn't just about understanding others, it's about understanding herself. A woman's body doesn't just react to the outside world, it also reacts to her inner world. The thoughts, the fears, the hopes, and the dreams that shape her. Her body is constantly telling her how she feels, how she's processing the world, and what she needs to feel fulfilled. The trick is most people don't know how to listen to those signals, not in the way a woman does. Women have an extraordinary ability to listen to their bodies, to trust the signals their intuition sends them. This ability isn't some mystical gift, it's deeply connected to their biology. A woman's body is constantly giving her feedback about her emotions, her energy levels, her health, and her needs. And when she listens to this feedback, she is able to make decisions that align with her deeper self, decisions that are not just reactive, but proactive and empowering. The truth is, when you begin to understand a woman's body in this way, you unlock a level of intimacy that most men never experience. You start to realize that her responses, her actions, her moods, everything she does is a reflection of a deep connection to her body and mind. This connection is not just about biology or psychology, it's a spiritual connection, a deep well of energy and wisdom that guides her through life. And the most powerful thing you can do is not just recognize this intelligence, but honor it. Honor the way she moves through the world, the way she adapts, the way she listens to herself and to others. Honor the way she uses her emotional intelligence to navigate relationships, to create bonds, and to cultivate the connections that matter most. When you start to see her in this way, something extraordinary happens. You begin to see yourself differently. You realize that this deep emotional intelligence isn't just a gift she has. It's a mirror that reflects the emotional depth within you as well. It invites you to tap into your own emotional intelligence, to connect with your own feelings, and to use that awareness to create deeper, more meaningful connections. This isn't just about understanding a woman. It's about understanding the world and yourself on a deeper level. It's about embracing the complexities of human nature and recognizing that there is power in sensitivity, in empathy, and in connection. The more you understand a woman's body, the more you realize how much power lies in the subtleties, the things that cannot be seen but can only be felt. And that power, when embraced, transforms everything. When you honor her emotional intelligence, you honor yourself. You begin to see that real strength isn't in being rigid or controlling. It's in being flexible, being aware, being willing to adapt. It's in listening, not just with your ears, but with your heart and your mind. It's in embracing the connection between you and her, and understanding that when you do, you both become more than you ever were before. And that is the true power of understanding a woman's body, the incredible untapped potential that lies within her, within you, and within the bond you share. When you truly begin to understand the power within a woman's body, you unlock not just the potential for greater connection, but a whole new level of respect for the energy she brings into every interaction. There is an undeniable strength that comes from the very core of her. An energy that can light up a room, ignite change, and inspire action. Yet, what is often overlooked is the complexity and depth of this energy, and the way it shapes not just how she moves through the world, but how the world responds to her. In many ways, a woman's energy is her silent force, constantly at work even when it's not visible. The energy she radiates is magnetic. It attracts, it influences, it creates. But it's not just about the outward projection of energy, it's about how she manages and channels it within herself. A woman's body isn't just a vessel for physical existence, it's a powerful instrument for transformation. It takes in everything around her, processes it, and then releases a frequency into the world that affects everyone and everything she touches. This energetic force is not something that is readily understood by many. For so long, society has tried to define a woman's worth by her appearance, her actions, and the roles she plays. But the truth is, her value is not in how she looks or in the expectations placed upon her. Her value lies in her ability to harness the power of her energy, an energy that comes from deep within, from her heart, mind, and spirit. It is this energy that enables her to not only survive in a world that is often unforgiving, but to thrive in it. It's the driving force behind her resilience, her perseverance, and her capacity to push forward despite all the odds. The most powerful thing you can do when you begin to understand this energy is to recognize its impact. You see, when a woman's energy is respected and nurtured, it flourishes. It grows stronger, more powerful, more expansive. It has the potential to change everything around her. But when it is dismissed, ignored, or stifled, it diminishes. The energy she carries becomes muted, less potent, and eventually begins to fade. The truth is, this energy isn't just a luxury. It's a necessity for her well-being and fulfillment. And when you recognize that, you begin to see the responsibility you carry in how you interact with her, how you support her, and how you hold space for her. This isn't just about being mindful of her emotions. It's about understanding that her energy is a reflection of the deepest parts of her being. When she feels supported, heard, and understood, her energy expands. When she is given the freedom to express herself authentically, her energy shines brighter. And when she is made to feel small, insignificant, or unseen, her energy contracts. It's the law of attraction in its most powerful form. What she puts out into the world is a direct reflection of what she receives, and this energy is contagious. When her energy is nurtured, it creates a ripple effect that touches everyone around her. She empowers those she loves, she motivates those she works with, and she inspires those she comes into contact with. This is why respecting her energy is not just a kindness, it's a responsibility. Because when you support her, when you honor her energy, you become part of the powerful force she carries within her. You become someone who amplifies her strength, who lifts her up and propels her forward. When you see her for who she truly is, the energy she radiates, the strength she embodies, the resilience she carries, you become part of something much bigger than yourself. You become part of the transformation that she is constantly creating in the world. But here's the key. It's not just about supporting her outwardly. It's about respecting her inner world, the thoughts, emotions, and energy she holds within. Her body is constantly communicating with her mind, sending signals, processing information, and guiding her actions. But when she feels disconnected from herself, when she doesn't have the space to listen to her body and her energy, she loses touch with that power. The key to unlocking her full potential is in helping her reconnect with that energy, to honor it, and to give it the freedom it needs to grow. And here's where it becomes incredibly important for men to understand. When you don't just acknowledge her strength, but actively support her in channeling that strength, you create a partnership that is built on mutual respect and understanding. You understand that her energy is not something to be feared or controlled. It is something to be celebrated, to be nurtured, and to be empowered. The way you interact with her, whether it's through your words, your actions, or your presence, affects her energy. When you are present with her, when you are supportive, when you listen, you create an environment in which her energy thrives. When you dismiss her, belittle her, or try to suppress her, you stifle that energy, and over time, that energy fades. The magic lies in recognizing that her energy is not something to be controlled or manipulated. It is a force to be embraced. It is what makes her unique, powerful, and capable of creating real change in her life and in the world. When you understand this, you stop seeing her as something to be understood or figured out. You see her as a force of nature, a person with incredible depth, whose energy deserves your respect, admiration, and support. And here's the beauty of it. When you honor her energy, you also unlock something within yourself. You begin to see that the energy you give to her is returned to you in ways you can't even begin to imagine. The connection you create is one that transcends the superficial and taps into something deeper, something more profound. It's a connection that is built on the understanding that both of you are powerful, both of you are worthy, and both of you have the potential to create something extraordinary together. The most profound thing you can do in any relationship is to respect the energy of the person you're with. When you honor her energy, you honor the very essence of who she is. And that, more than anything, is the true power of understanding a woman's body, the realization that her energy, her presence, and her essence are not just valuable, they are vital. They are the forces that can shape the world, and they are the forces that, when respected and nurtured, can change everything. At the core of everything a woman experiences, the triumphs, the struggles, the victories, and the defeats, is an invisible force that shapes her life in ways few people understand. It's the profound connection she has with her intuition. This is not just a vague concept or an abstract idea. It's a primal, powerful intelligence that exists deep within her. It's the quiet voice that guides her decisions, the knowing that comes without explanation, the inner compass that always points her in the direction of what truly matters. Intuition is a woman's greatest gift, a source of wisdom that transcends logic and reason. While men often rely on external factors, facts, figures, data, and analysis to make decisions, a woman's intuition taps into something far deeper. It draws from the well of her subconscious mind, from her life experiences, her emotions, her senses, and her deep connection to the world around her. It allows her to sense what cannot be seen, to know what cannot be explained. It's the inner knowing that helps her navigate life's complexities with a level of insight and awareness that often goes unnoticed. But this intuition is not just some mystical force or passive sense. It is active, powerful, and life-changing. It is a skill that she has honed over a lifetime, through trial and error, through moments of doubt, and through moments of clarity. This intuitive ability is what allows her to make decisions with confidence, to trust her gut, and to take risks that others may shy away from. It is the force that enables her to move through the world with a kind of grace and assurance that most men find hard to grasp. And it is this same intuition that often leads her to become the emotional and spiritual backbone of families, relationships, and communities. Think about it. When a woman steps into a room, it's not just her appearance that captures attention. It's the energy she carries, the way she walks, the way she moves, and the way she listens to what's going on beneath the surface. Her intuition allows her to pick up on the smallest of cues, to sense the subtle shifts in mood, tone, or energy. She is constantly absorbing information, processing it, and using that knowledge to shape her actions. This allows her to make decisions quickly, decisively, and with a kind of certainty that many people don't understand. What looks like a simple decision to the outside world is often the result of layers of intuitive processing that are happening beneath the surface. And this intuitive ability isn't just limited to her professional or social life, it extends deeply into her personal relationships as well. The connection she feels with others, the way she understands their emotions, their needs, and their desires, is a direct result of her ability to intuitively tune in to the people around her. This is why women are often the ones who seem to know exactly what their loved ones need, even before they ask for it. It's why they can sense when something is wrong, even when no words are spoken. Their intuition is constantly at work, guiding them in ways that most people never fully realize. But the true power of a woman's intuition lies in how it empowers her to make choices that are aligned with her authentic self. When a woman is connected to her intuition, she is in touch with her deepest desires, her true passions, and her highest potential. She knows what is right for her, what nourishes her, and what drains her. Her intuition allows her to navigate the challenges of life with a sense of clarity and direction that goes far beyond logic. It's not about what makes sense on paper, it's about what feels right in her soul. When you begin to understand this, you stop seeing a woman's decisions as erratic or unpredictable. Instead, you see them for what they truly are, acts of deep self-awareness and courage. Every choice she makes, whether big or small, is rooted in this innate knowing, this deep well of wisdom that resides within her. And when she follows her intuition, she aligns herself with the flow of life, with the natural rhythm of the universe. She moves through life with a kind of grace and flow that allows her to overcome obstacles, navigate challenges, and create the life she truly desires. But intuition is not just about personal gain or success. It's also about the way a woman connects with others, the way she nurtures relationships, and the way she offers support to those around her. A woman's intuitive nature makes her a natural caregiver, a natural listener, and a natural leader. It allows her to understand the needs of others, to offer comfort, guidance, and wisdom without judgment. She is the one who knows when someone needs a hug, when they need space, and when they just need someone to listen. This ability to tune in to others on a deep, emotional level is one of the most powerful aspects of her intuition. But the most incredible thing about intuition is that it's a skill that grows stronger the more it is trusted. The more a woman listens to her intuition, the more accurate and powerful it becomes. When she ignores it, when she doubts it, she begins to lose touch with her own power. But when she trusts it, when she listens to it, she unlocks a level of strength and insight that is unmatched. Her intuition becomes a guiding light that leads her to greater self-awareness, deeper connections, and more authentic relationships. So what does this mean for you? How does understanding a woman's intuition change the way you view her? It means recognizing that her decisions are not just arbitrary or based on emotion. They are deeply rooted in her connection to herself, to others, and to the world around her. It means understanding that when she listens to her intuition, she is aligning herself with something far greater than what the mind can comprehend. It means seeing her not as someone who is making impulsive choices, but as someone who is deeply in tune with her inner guidance, with her soul's purpose, and with the flow of life. When you begin to honor her intuition, when you recognize the power it holds, you begin to see her as the force she truly is. You begin to appreciate the depth of her wisdom, her insight, and her understanding. You begin to respect the decisions she makes, knowing that they are not just based on what is visible on the surface, but on a deeper knowing that transcends logic and reason. In the end, understanding a woman's intuition is about understanding the power of the human spirit. It's about recognizing that there is far more to her than meets the eye. Her intuition is not a mystery to be solved. It's a gift to be celebrated. It is the heart of her power, the root of her strength, and the key to unlocking the extraordinary potential she carries within. When you honor that, you honor not just her, but the incredible energy that lives within all of us. And that is the true beauty of understanding a woman's body. Seeing the connection between her mind, her soul, and the world she navigates with such grace and intuition. What you begin to realize as you peel back the layers of a woman's body and mind is that her ability to adapt and thrive in any environment is not just a product of her strength. It's a direct result of her capacity to transform. This is no ordinary resilience. It's a resilience that comes from within, a resilience that is anchored in her ability to shift, grow, and evolve in ways that others might find impossible. When life throws its hardest challenges at her, she does not break. She bends, she adapts, and she emerges even stronger. This adaptive strength is one of the most awe-inspiring qualities of a woman's body. From an evolutionary standpoint, women have always had to be resilient. The ability to bear and nurture life, to navigate the complexities of motherhood, relationships, and careers, has sharpened her capacity for adaptation. But it's not just physical resilience that sets her apart. It's her mental and emotional fortitude, the way she can pivot when faced with adversity, the way she can reinvent herself time and time again, regardless of the circumstances. It's easy to assume that resilience is simply about enduring hardship. But true resilience goes far beyond survival. It's about growth, about evolution, and about the constant process of becoming. Women are not static. They are constantly in motion, constantly adapting to the ever-changing conditions of their lives. Every challenge they face, every loss they endure, and every moment of doubt they experience becomes an opportunity for growth. The hardships that come their way are not roadblocks but stepping stones, each one providing them with the strength to take the next step and the next until they have transformed into something new, something stronger, wiser, and more capable than they were before. This ability to transform is one of the most powerful aspects of a woman's body. It's why she can carry multiple roles at once: mother, partner, career woman, friend, without losing herself in the process. She doesn't just manage these roles, she integrates them into the fabric of who she is. She becomes a living example of what it means to flow with life, to ride the waves of change and still emerge standing tall, unbroken, and even more beautiful than before. It's also why women often show a remarkable capacity for empathy. They understand that every challenge, every setback, and every moment of difficulty is a chance for growth, not just for them, but for those around them. This understanding makes them natural healers. It makes them the ones people turn to when life feels overwhelming, when the world feels heavy, when they need someone to help them through. But this doesn't just stem from a natural inclination to care for others. It's a byproduct of their own experiences, their own ability to transform and adapt. They know through their own trials that everything is temporary. The pain, the struggle, the fear, they are just phases in a cycle of transformation. And because of this wisdom, they can offer others the comfort of knowing that no matter how dark things may seem, change is inevitable. Growth is possible. Healing is real. This is a gift that is not just emotionally and psychologically profound, but it's also deeply biological. The female body is uniquely designed to handle stress and recover from it. Her hormones, for instance, play a pivotal role in this process. When faced with stress, women's bodies release cortisol, the stress hormone. But unlike men, women's bodies are wired to return to a balanced state more quickly. This is the body's way of saying, you can handle this. You will bounce back. But this resilience isn't just physical. It's emotional, psychological, and spiritual as well. It's the ability to keep moving forward even when the path is unclear, the strength to face uncertainty with faith, and the courage to keep going when everyone else is ready to give up. But there is something even deeper than this ability to bounce back. Women possess an uncanny ability to rebuild, to reimagine their lives even after everything seems lost. When a woman faces a setback, a failure, a heartbreak, a loss, she doesn't just recover. She reinvents herself. She takes the pieces of what was once and crafts something entirely new. She doesn't simply move on, she transforms. This ability to reimagine herself, to create a new vision for her life after adversity, is what truly sets her apart. She doesn't let the past define her future. Instead, she uses the lessons, the strength, and the wisdom she has gained to create something that is uniquely her own. This isn't just a survival mechanism. It's a power. It's the kind of power that allows her to navigate life's challenges with grace and dignity, knowing that no matter what happens, she has the strength to adapt. It's the kind of power that turns adversity into fuel, pain into purpose, and loss into opportunity. It's the ability to look at the shattered pieces of her life and say, I can build something beautiful from this. This adaptive strength is also what makes a woman an extraordinary leader. She understands that leadership is not about control or dominance. It's about the ability to inspire, to guide, and to empower others to grow alongside her. It's about the wisdom that comes from experience, the empathy that comes from understanding, and the vision that comes from having faced adversity and emerged stronger. A woman who has learned how to adapt, how to transform, and how to rise above the challenges life throws her way is a woman who knows how to lead, not by force, but by example. She leads with compassion, with vision, and with the strength that comes from within. When you understand this about a woman, when you see her as a force of transformation, rather than just a passive recipient of life's challenges, you begin to see her in a whole new light. You begin to understand that her strength isn't just in her ability to endure, it's in her ability to evolve. Her power isn't just in what she can carry, it's in her capacity to rise from the ashes, to rebuild, to grow, and to become more than she ever was before. And when you see this, when you truly appreciate the depth of her resilience and transformation, you begin to understand the true essence of her power. A woman's ability to adapt is not just a survival tactic, it's her superpower. It's the key to her success, her happiness, and her ability to create the life she wants. It's the secret to her strength. And when you understand this, when you honor this incredible gift, you see her not just as a woman, but as a force of nature, a force that is unstoppable, unbreakable, and undeniably powerful. She is, in every sense of the word, a transformer. There is an extraordinary power within a woman's capacity to balance her inner world with the demands of the outer world. It's a delicate art, one that requires a level of awareness, emotional intelligence, and deep self-understanding. But the real magic happens when you realize that this balance isn't something she strives for. It's something she is born with, embedded within the very core of her being. She has the innate ability to juggle multiple roles, each with its own weight, its own set of responsibilities, and its own emotional demands, without losing herself in the process. The world asks her to be a mother, a partner, a friend, a professional, a nurturer, a protector. And yet, she does this not by compartmentalizing herself, but by integrating all aspects of her being into everything she does. The juggling act isn't a struggle for her, it's a reflection of her inherent capacity to harmonize opposing forces. While others may feel overwhelmed by the demands of life, she thrives in it because her energy, her essence, her purpose flows from within her. Her mind is constantly at work, organizing, analyzing, planning, and adapting to new information. But it's not just logic driving her, it's intuition and emotion, woven together in a seamless dance. When life demands something from her, she doesn't simply give what is required, she gives more. She taps into a deep well of emotional energy that allows her to go beyond what is expected and move into the realm of what is extraordinary. She pours her heart into her work, into her relationships, and into the world around her, and yet there is always more to give. This ability to give endlessly, to be a constant source of love, strength, and support is one of the most remarkable things about a woman's body. It's easy to assume that when someone gives so much, they must eventually burn out. But this is where the true power lies. A woman doesn't deplete herself in the act of giving. She regenerates. She is constantly replenishing her energy, not just from the external world, but from the deepest recesses of her own being. She draws on a reserve of strength that is connected to something far greater than herself. It is this energy, this invisible force, that allows her to continue giving without losing her sense of self. In this way, a woman's body is not just a vessel. It is an intricate system of balance, powered by a combination of physical strength, emotional resilience, and spiritual depth. Her body and mind are constantly in sync, working together to allow her to give and receive with grace and ease. The balance she maintains isn't one of perfection, it's one of flow. When she feels overwhelmed, she adjusts. When she feels drained, she rests. When she feels joy, she radiates it. She has an uncanny ability to navigate the flow of life with a sense of calm, even in the midst of chaos. What's truly awe-inspiring is the way a woman's body allows her to be present in every moment. When she shows up, whether for her family, her work, or her friends, she is fully engaged. She isn't distracted by the pressures of the past or the worries of the future. She is centered in the now, living and breathing in the moment. This presence isn't a coincidence. It's the result of a body and mind that are deeply connected, attuned to what matters most, and grounded in the truth of who she is. This kind of balance isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about being authentic. It's about tuning into her own needs and desires, while also tuning into the needs of others. A woman doesn't just react to the world around her, she actively shapes it. When she enters a room, she doesn't just take up space, she transforms it. She knows that her energy has the power to influence, to uplift, and to inspire those around her. And because she is in tune with herself, she does this effortlessly. Her presence alone is enough to shift the atmosphere, to change the dynamic, to make everything feel right again. This is not just a psychological gift, it's a biological one as well. The female brain is wired to be highly attuned to emotional and relational dynamics. Studies show that women are more adept at picking up on nonverbal cues, reading facial expressions, and sensing the emotional needs of others. This is why women are often seen as the glue that holds families, teams, and communities together. They are natural connectors, bringing people together and creating spaces where love, trust, and collaboration can thrive.